Well, we can't get enough of Magic Monday. Mondays aren't dull and dreary, are they? The gold rush has started in Tokyo. Great Britain has surged up the medal table on Magic Monday with 3 gold medals, all won in the space of a few very manic few hours. Adam Peaty, Tom Pidcock and the duo of Daley and Matty Lee all reaching the top in their sports. Although there has just been a little bit of disappointment with Lauren Williams agonisingly missing out on another gold. Watching it all unfold, it's absolutely exhausted, but we've still got him there for us. Ben Ransom. Look, we've got to say, this is brilliant nonetheless. She still picked up a silver medal, but so close to that 4th gold, Ben.
I know, it was agonising, wasn't it? We were all here. You can imagine we've got a little studio set up here on the waterfront of the Bay area of Tokyo. So we point out the balcony for this beautiful live shot behind me with the Olympic rings. But when we're off camera, we're behind the camera, sat cheering on every Team GB athlete and living every moment, or in this case, every punch or kick to the head. Well, unfortunately for Lauren Williams, she couldn't quite get over the line. 15 seconds to go, she was ahead against Matej Jelic of Croatia, who was the favourite for this final, it has to be said. Lauren Williams, former kickboxer, has done so well to get to this final. She gave it absolutely everything. Both fighters did, to be fair. They put everything on the line in this final. But just like with poor old Bradley Sinden last night, for us it was exactly the same for Lauren Williams. Ahead going into the closing stages, and then she was cruelly denied. She got a head kick against her and lost narrowly in the final. So yes, it was a breathless end, I have to say that. But I mean, credit to Lauren Williams. She looks absolutely delighted to get a silver medal, and quite rightly so, because she's been absolutely brilliant again in this competition.
Thoughts. Look, what a day though for Team GB. It's been marvellous, hasn't it?
Oh, I mean, one of the best. I mean, it's got to be one of the highlights of my career, just stood here talking about all of the gold medals. I mean, we all remember Super Saturday, don't we? All those many moons ago at London 2012. There was almost a repeat, a kind of super-ish Saturday at Rio, when we saw Mo Farah, Jess Ennis, Greg Rutherford do it again in some respects. But, I mean, Magic Monday has been absolutely magnificent, and we've been waiting for this first gold medal for Team GB, and it was delivered as at Rio by that man Adam Peaty. He is an absolute machine. The first British swimmer in history to defend an Olympic title in the 100 metres breaststroke. He was a class above everyone in the field, and he has been not lost a race for 7 years. That's how good he is at his discipline. He is in elite level status. He was so far ahead of the competition, finishing time of 57.37 seconds. The next closest was 58. Only one man ever has gone below 58 alongside Peaty. Peaty's gone below 57. He's that good, and just a remarkable effort from him. And he said to me last week, actually, going into these games, he wanted to come away with 3 gold medals. Well, it's one down. His son George will grow up to be very proud of his dad, I think. And he said becoming a father last year has really put everything into perspective. He wanted to close this chapter. He took a lot of the pressure and the expectations of the country on his shoulders, and he delivered. So he'll be absolutely delighted tonight, Adam Peaty. Then this afternoon, our time, you were actually a bit more of a humane hour for you in the morning back in the UK. We saw Daley finally get his hands on a gold medal at the 4th attempt, his 4th Olympic Games, alongside Matty Lee in the men's 10-metre synchronised platform diving. Absolutely perfection. The final dive was flawless, that clawed the gold medal away from the Chinese pair. And for Daley, tears on the podium, emotion, everything he's been through over 4 years. When Beijing 2008, he was just 14 years old at his first Olympic Games. Already he was a household name because of that by London 2012 when he managed a bronze. Bronze again at Rio when he was disappointed. I spoke to him a day or so after that, and he felt he could have got gold in Rio. So for him to get gold now, and given there's only 3 years now in this next Olympic cycle to Paris, Matty Lee's first Olympic Games, you never know. Maybe Daley has got another Olympic Games in him, but I mean, he'll enjoy it tonight. Absolutely he will, in that moment for him. And then when we saw Daley and Matty Lee win gold, we were obviously bouncing around here in Tokyo. It was a great moment for Team GB, and the gold rush really did start, didn't it? Because Tom Pidcock in the mountain bike, in the cross-country event, he blitzed clear of the field. He is a really talented 21-year-old. So Dave Brailsford knows a thing about making Tour de France winners, doesn't he? Well, he's already tipped Pidcock to be a future Tour de France winner. Today, he was on the road cycling, he was on the dirt, and he was brilliant. Remember, this is a man who was knocked off his bike in June by a car, training in the Alps, fractured his collarbone in 5 places, needed surgery, back on the bike a week later. So absolutely incredible story from Pidcock. And then we've got to mention our other silver medalist, because we woke up this morning. For you, it was late last night coming into the very early hours. So anyone that was up to watch the triathlon, credit to you. But Alex Yee, what a performance. Already been talked about as the heir to the Brownlees. If that doesn't add pressure to a young man's shoulders, I don't know what would. But he delivered a really cool performance in a very hot and humid conditions in the triathlon. He took silver medal. I spoke to him a bit earlier and he was absolutely delighted. He perhaps hadn't let it sink in yet. I don't think he'd quite realised what he had achieved, but he was so pleased to have that silver medal around his neck. So Team GB very much off and running, as you say, at this Olympic Games. It really has been a magical, magical Monday, and yeah, we look forward to hopefully bringing you news of more medals by the time you wake up tomorrow.
Brilliant stuff. You have been awesome today. Thank you, Ben. Go and have a lie down. OK, so as Ben was saying, Adam Peaty continues to dominate the pool, doesn't he? He became the first British swimmer to retain an Olympic title. He celebrated in the pool his second Olympic gold. We've spoken into the build-up of the Games about how difficult this year's been in lockdown, as he became a father for the first time as well. He's now one of Britain's greatest Olympians. And he paid tribute to his family on Twitter after the victory. He said, "For my country, my son and my family, for those who stayed up through the night to watch me, for all those people who need a bit of light, you can get through this."
The first reaction was, thank God that it's paid off, because it was hard. There was a lot of swearing in my head, but kind of passive aggressiveness, but it's been a very, very hard 18 months. Some days I open my eyes and like, what am I even chasing anymore? Why am I doing these Olympics, firstly? And why am I getting up every single day and giving absolutely 110%? It's draining me. It's taken so much. So the amount of investment I've put into these swims and the amount of investment I've put into this sport has been unparalleled. You couldn't put it into a tangible word, because it wouldn't be worthy of what I've put into this sport. But I also appreciate that I don't do this for myself. Yes, I have my performances. I'm obsessed with getting faster. I'm obsessed with executing the perfect race. Yes, I love the adrenaline. But what's the point in doing all that if we can't relate it back home, if we can't relate it to the person who just wants to be better, no matter what they do? And that's the power of sport. That's why we all love coming together when the Olympics are on. That's why we all love coming together when England are playing, because that, it inspires people to do better. So that kind of tweet was just aimed at all those people who might be in a dark place, because the last 18 months have shown that no matter what you throw at me, I will come back, and I will come back strong.
Well, Tom Daley was in tears on the podium collecting his medal alongside Matty Lee. Daley had said he would quit the sport if he won gold, but straight after the victory, he said he'd now take his time to decide his future. It's Daley's 4th Olympics, a journey which began as a fresh-faced 14-year-old in Beijing in 2008. He won bronze at London 2012 and at Rio 5 years ago, and now finally he has his hands on that gold medal 13 years on from his first Olympic appearance.
Gold medal means an incredible amount. We put in, all athletes put in such hard work, effort, sacrifice and dedication into our performances, and to be able to finally become an Olympic champion after 20 years and 4 attempts at it, it feels incredibly special. And to do it alongside a competition that was extremely tough with the Russian pair and also the Chinese pair, who all dived extremely well. It was a really tough competition, but to be able to, and I'm extremely proud of Matty as well for it being his first Olympic Games, and us both knowing how much we wanted this and being able to hold it together. Well, even when I felt like I was, after even having this being my 4th Olympic Games, felt extremely under pressure. But being able to hold it together for the both of us I was very proud of him.
Yeah, well, this is how Daley's husband and mum celebrated his final dive, which all but secured gold. It's quite magical, isn't it, that moment? And once the celebrations had died down, Dustin Lance Black tweeted this: "No words, so many tears. Congratulations, Tom and Matty Lee." after taking gold, Matty Lee said, "All year I've been thinking about the gold Olympic medal and also trying not to think about it because you've just got to get through the process. But to be able to share my first Olympics with Tom and to be a part of it is just special." Now, Team GB's football team are already through to the knockout stages but still have to play Canada tomorrow. Here's how they reacted to the news of the gold for Daley and Lee on the team bus. Well, it's a remarkable rise for the 21-year-old Tom Pidcock, who's been earmarked as a future star of British cycling. Pidcock overtook an 8-time world champion and the current world #1 on his way to winning gold in the cross-country mountain biking. Afterwards, he said how long he dreamt of winning Olympic gold. He said, "Honestly, not that long, probably since late last year. That was the first time I did a World Cup, but I have worked so hard for it, I cannot imagine how it would feel to build up 4 years for it. It was stressful enough in a year." And this was Pidcock just 7 weeks ago. I do like this picture. He did suffer a nasty injury in a training crash. You heard from Ben there, which meant he needed surgery on this broken collarbone. But he was trying to wrap himself up in bubble wrap. And now, of course, he is an Olympic champion. Alex Yee was inspired after watching the London 2012 triathlon at home. He's now an Olympic medalist 9 years later as he took silver.
I don't think it's quite sunk in, everything. I just feel like any other person. I feel, just really fortunate that I'm in this position, and it's a bit bizarre that it's me that's doing all this stuff. And I just want to be inspiration to the new generation and the next people coming up. This is possible, and I'm just like anybody else.
The beautiful thing is you are still the next generation. You're only young.
Yeah, no, definitely. I still definitely think I'm a student of the sport, and I still definitely think I'm learning, and I don't feel like the complete athlete, and I think that's what excites me and gets me up every morning, is the pursuit to be the best athlete I can be. And that's the thing that really excites me in the sport. It's tough, and the element of the free sports makes it really challenging to kind of be the perfect athlete.